Namaste, angels. This is going to be the weekly reading, November 20th through the 26th. I'm using the before the tarot, between the tarot, after the tarot, and no, before the tarot, between the tarot, the actual tarot, and the after tarot decks, all Rider-Waite style decks. And I think I'm only going to do 4 placements this week. Maybe I'll take 1 card from each deck for each of the 4 placements, which will be our primary focus, the overall theme, I guess, of our week from here. So the before the tarot deck, well, I said I'll pull 1 from each. Yeah. This one, so I guess the bottom card, the first card from each deck will be the main one, and then the other ones will be supporting messages. Maybe we'll do it that way. This is totally random. I don't know why I'm being guided to do it different, but I am. I didn't even put the dice out today. This is a whole new thing. Anyway, this is the between the tarot. We'll do the secondary energy, so surrounding energy, our communities, close friends, family members, co-workers, so things happening with our work, with our families, and that includes exes, you know, love interests, all that, mates, of course, work and finance, and relationship. But what I hadn't realized when I sat these cards here, oddly enough, is that both of these decks have the lovers on them. So let's just go over what's on top first. We're beginning with the 3 of Pentacles, and this is a collaboration. All 3 people are very vested, or appear very vested, very interested. One in particular may be a leader, or maybe doing the majority of the work. In the case of a romantic relationship, or even maybe close friends, these 2 may sort of battle for this one's attention, right? He may have a special relationship with him, and he may have a special relationship with him. And ignore the gender. I'm just looking at the gender in the cards, but, you know, apply it as you will to your own life. Take it as it resonates, you know, and use it in your own story. This guy seems to be doing some teaching, or maybe like I said, the major part of the work, but they don't appear, just by the looks in their faces, they look like they're interested, like they're paying attention in what he's doing, right? So he's like the main focus. The 3 of Pentacles in general is a card of collaboration. Also, it's tied to direct compensation, the way that I read it. So like the work that you put in, and it often has to do with regular 3D, you know, earthly work and efforts that we put into something, receiving direct compensation for those things. Now, if this was some sort of party of 3, again, whether it was friends or not, or something romantic or whatever, it looks like a Queen of Swords may have been involved. And she may have been, you know, maybe being courted. Looks she's being gifted something by an angel here. She's being gifted a crown. You know, so this is before the tarot. She's just had a seat. She looks pretty happy. The red for me is very, it's like a bolt, like a statement piece for a Queen of Swords, because she's normally depicted so cold, right? You know, she's made to look like unfeeling and stuff. And here she looks pleased that this angel looks pleased with her. And again, it's gifting her something. Now, immediately behind that is the King of Swords. So I do think that, at least for some, this is about a romantic relationship and a divine partnership, divine counterparts, twin flames, soulmates. And again, so one extra person would be maybe a karmic, although you guys know I don't really like to use that term, because all relationships are karmic, even the soulmates and twin flames. This karmic just means, you know, like basically a soul level based relationship meant to teach you a lesson, containing a lesson for you. So they're all karmic by definition. But the karmic, you know, that derogatory term that's come to be known around the spiritual community, maybe this third person is that, or it could be some other person, or work could be the other focus, you know, that maybe took away from this relationship. Now, the King of Swords also looks like he's just now sitting down and getting cozy. the hand of like God coming down to hand him his sword, like, okay, sir, here's your stuff. You can get started on your work. They don't know everything though. They're not, given all the information, and some stuff will come along to them as needed. And there's like a goal, I think, to remain in balance and equitable and fair, even in this partnership, and to be honest with everybody. The next card is the Four of Wands, but it's in reverse. Four of Wands in reverse in general is not a bad card, though. I'm just saying it's in reverse, so that's why I stopped. But Four of Wands in general in reverse can be about something very unexpected, like a surprise, a very positive surprise of good luck coming your way. With the Between the Tarot deck, we're starting with the Six of Coins. This too looks like a card of balance and equity and fairness, right? We have this red building, and at the very top of the building, we see Three of the Pentacles. And then we have this yellow building, and there's like a little bit lower, we see Three of the Pentacles as well. And there's like an Ace of Pentacles here, which I think like this is the illustration of what everybody's getting, right? This is the prize, and it's like we're all going to eat. We're all sharing. As above, so below is also a message. Because this is like higher up, and this is lower. It's like what happens up here is going to happen down here also. Also, I'm getting like an I am woman, hear me roar. These look like suffragettes or something. These women, this one's got like the power fist up, and then there's another woman up here. I see only females. So, I don't know, I'm getting something like that. The next card is in reverse. It's the Two of Swords. So maybe something, this is our surrounding energy. Maybe a decision will be made, because the Two of Swords is a card of indecision, or like avoiding making a decision. It's in reverse. So it's like indicating a decision has been made or will be made this week. Maybe it's with regard to something involving women or women's rights. Civil rights in general. Maybe somebody will start talking this week again about like equal pay for women. I don't know. It's in that surrounding energy placement. So again, in the work and finance placement, we have the Lovers, and this is a positive card in this placement, but I'm more drawn to it as the Lovers right now, more so than having to do with work or finance, because like I said, there's another Lovers card sitting right next to it. So you can see the differences there. In both, this angel at the top is very fiery and Sagittarius-like. It's like giving Dante. And here he appears to be like blessing the relationship. So we started out with the King and Queen of Swords. Air signs may actually be involved in this situation because the Lovers does represent the sign of Gemini. Let's see. Mars is currently located in the sign of Gemini, the planet that rules Aries and Scorpio, the planet of action and aggression. Also, what else? Like I said, this is giving Sagittarius vibe. Sagittarius is Gemini's mirror opposite, our opposite axis sign. And the new moon that occurs this week on the 23rd is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius for Gemini is also our 7th house. I was just talking about the 7th house relationships, our closest one-on-one relationships, BFF, love interest, mate, spouse, all that stuff. For us, it's Sagittarius. So it could mean something special for those signs, maybe especially Gemini, especially Sagittarius, and also possibly Scorpio and Aries. That we start out here with these two lovers potentially coming together, being drawn together by the divine. And then here it looks like they're like even blessing the relationship, like I dub you, or I hear, announce you man and wife or whatever. You may kiss the bride or touch her hand or exchange fruit with her. We're here, they're like separated. Now to look at them individually and then to look again somewhat at least, as this pile having to do with money, the King of Pentacles in reverse is the next card. So King of Pentacles is somebody in general with the, well, with the Knight of Pentacles upright behind that, and the Ace of Pentacles that we see here in the between the tarot deck, there, the Ace of Pentacles behind that. And we had a Two of Swords behind that, in reverse, behind that Six of Pentacles there. We have a Two of Swords here, also in reverse, behind the Ace of Pentacles. So I think there's a lot of money around. There's work, there's stability, which those of my clients and viewers that are out of work will be happy to hear. There's work, there's stability, but there's fear that there isn't. And there's fear that, you know, what if I don't have money, or the usual amount of money that I'm known to have? What if I can't continue to live at this, you know, standard? What if I can't continue to have stuff? What will people think of me? Is the worry of the King of Pentacles in reverse. But then, like, as I said, we see all these pentacles upright immediately behind him. So there is no need for worry, but this may just be a lesson for him, maybe a karmic lesson, something that's on his soul that he has to move beyond, and in terms of recognizing his worth as a human being, and not just as an owner of stuff. And he may be involved. King of Pentacles may be an actual earth sign. And if he was coming up as an air sign of the King of Swords, maybe that's because he's a Libra. Venus rules an earth sign and an air sign. Or maybe that's because he's a Virgo. Mercury also rules an air sign and an earth sign. Let's see, Capricorn's ruler, Saturn, does not rule an air sign. Okay, so yeah, I think in that order. Taurus, especially with the bull here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn may also be involved and may be showing up as both the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, to go along with the Queen of Swords, who is most directly a Gemini and is represented by these Lovers cards that are showing up. So he was upside down. So if it does have to do with love and relationship, you know, he may be feeling, again, he may be worried about, the relationship could be impacted by him worried about his job, his future, his money, his, you know, security, stability, and or that he doesn't quite measure up to the mate or love interest, or that, you know, he needs to be able to impress with stuff. And I guess unbeknown to him, if the person is actually a Gemini, we, especially Gemini females, maybe males not as much, but the females, we don't even care about stuff. You know, I'm not saying we don't like stuff. I think everybody likes stuff, but we certainly don't prioritize stuff over people. We definitely prefer, like, if we like you, even if you're broke. Like, I've had literal homeless friends, and I even dated one. You know, you're homeless if you don't have a permanent roof over your head and you have to go to shelters. Like, his house had burned down. Anyway, we got another Lovers, and behind that one is the Five of Wands. So there could be some sort of argument or debate before we end up here. Sun comes in, maybe to provide clarity, clear up the debate, illuminate some things, shine a light on those things that we didn't know that were here behind the King and Queen of Swords in the form of the Moon. And that may be how whatever this argument or conflict is gets worked out. This can also be represented by competition or perceived competition. Oh, the person I like has a lot of people that like them. Like, what am I going to do? And maybe that's why the King of Pentacles is in reverse. or, you know, you may have a lot of options or a lot of people interested in you. And so that can be why the Five of Wands is showing up this way. But the Sun, and these are both major arcana cards, so they both trump this Five of Wands. You know, this is an indication of something working out very positively. You see a very bright sun in both cards. You see two very happy beings in both cards interacting. And the sun just makes everything better, right? The next card was also Major Arcana. It's Major Arcana card, the Fool, but in reverse. Okay, we'll try not to spend as much time on the individual placements, but I do want to... I didn't mix any of these up, did I? Oh no, this just belongs on top. I do want to give a little shuffle in front of you. This is what the Death card looks like in the Before the Tarot deck. So death, an ending of some sort, leading to a new beginning. That Ace of Pentacles that sits next to it, perhaps, and or, you know, transitioning, transformation of energy. We end up again with the Queen of Swords, but now she's in reverse, followed by the Knight of Wands in reverse and the Emperor in reverse. So a lot of characters. What is this? The fell away. It's the Wheel of Fortune, but it looks like it's more justice is involved. Again, balance. So something is destined. There's a destined maybe partnership, a yin to yang. There's fear about it, worry. The Eight of Wands here. And this is the Hermit. Since it's between the tarot, here we see the Hermit and the Wheel. So it's funny that the Wheel also fell out. The Wheel and Justice. This is the Hermit and something for which he is destined. It's like in divine time. He may be, you know, went away into isolation for a moment, but he's going to be called out when it's time to take some sort of very sudden and maybe otherwise unexpected or unanticipated action with the Wheel. It's fast-moving energy. Is this another Three of Pentacles? No, cards are still very stiff. My daughter just got me these, and I've only used them once before, and still not like read the books or anything. We ended up with the Three of Wands in reverse as the overall here. And the shuffling looks like a lot of fear and indecision in this working in finance placement. Six of Cups. So again, ending up with like a lovey-dovey card on the work and finance placement. Just interesting. Maybe, you know, meeting a connection at work. We did start out with the Three of Pentacles, and that can be one of its meetings, actually. Like meeting somebody at or through work. Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, so as a reminder, we have the Queen of Swords, the Three of Wands, both of which are in reverse, the Six of Cups upright, and the Ace of Swords also in reverse. I'm going to turn these over. Okay, I'll try to do this faster than I did the little story. Our primary focus this week. Very nice. Two of Wands from the Before the Tarot deck. We have this, I can show you the World guy coming up again. The world, he has the world in his hands is another way to look at it. And he's got a lot of faith that what he's envisioning to happen in his world will come to pass. Okay, this is from the Before the Tarot deck. So this is our primary focus. Supporting that, we have the Five of Swords. So it's like he starts out at the edge of the water. Something occurs between the tarot. He ends up out there in the water after some sort of battle. Or maybe during some sort of battle. The Hermit, going into isolation to figure things out, maybe to improve upon his plan after somebody tried to take him down, try to get in the way of his plans. So this can be what happens with somebody with our primary focus this week. Something or someone tries to interrupt what you have, what you're manifesting or what you have planned for yourself or your family, and it will require you to maybe double back and, you know, spend some time alone figuring out how to make a comeback, you know. And then with the After the Tarot deck, we do have success, but we have somebody maybe unsure of how to achieve that success. So I don't know if you figure it out by the end of the week or not. I mean, this isn't necessarily an indication that you do, but it shows that when you do, things will go your way. So that's the primary message this week. Moving on to surrounding energy. Ace of Swords. Upright. One of these decks, I think it was this one, had the Ace of Swords in reverse. So it's our second Ace of Swords. And what's interesting is it looks like somebody was at some sort of crossroad here. We have these two swords behind him crossing, sort of like in the Two of Swords, which is, again, a card of indecision. Like, you know what decision you want to make, but you don't want to make it because, like, you're afraid of what other people are going to think or something. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You don't want to step on anybody's toes. So you rather just act as if you haven't decided yet, which only causes harm to you. But with the Ace of Swords, we see him standing over, it looks like a mound where the sword may have been. So maybe mustering up the strength to pull it from here, like an Excalibur, which is like maybe like a depiction of having mustered up the strength to, you know, do what's best for him, the just thing, or do what's best in general, which would be the just thing, the right thing to do. Ace of Swords is also a card of victory and success and cutting through obstacles and bullshit. So that could be the case also. There's like a crossroad because maybe we come across some sort of obstacle, but the Ace of Swords can cut through that. So this would be something maybe going on in your surrounding energy or with somebody in your surrounding energy. Is at a crossroads or at a crossroads with you. Somehow you're like at least indirectly impacted by what this surrounding energy has going on. Maybe somebody from within your household or your family, or kind of love interest, mate, spouse, or somebody could be making a decision about you in terms of a relationship, maybe whether or not to propose or to propose something, propose entering a relationship or dating, or, you know, moving up to the next level, whatever the next level would be, or, you know, again, working on something in the home, with the family, the household, some sort of decision. What else? Nine of Wands. This is something like you just feel battered and lost and like kind of like you want to give up, but at the same time you don't want to give up. And you don't have to, because the universe is going to step in to support you and help you with this. So maybe in, since this was our primary card here, it may be in, again, finding the strength to keep going and to cut past this obstacle, cut through this obstacle. That is how the universe maybe will support the person in your surrounding energy this week in whatever this situation is. And lastly, we have a Knight of Pentacles in reverse. He does look kind of like he's facing this way, maybe again towards you and towards this home to make some sort of offer. Could be an apology, or again could be wanting to step up the happiness, the joy, the commitment level. He may be an actual, he's in reverse like the king was. He may be an actual earth sign, of course. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It has something to do with work. You could be deciding upon maybe a salary, maybe a, thinking about the death card, transition, transformation, transfer, or you know, a new spot in the job, a new focus. You got to decide about that. Could involve money being offered, a bonus, an increase, a raise, or if it's a new job. Maybe that you have more than one job, you're at a crossroad, you got to think, you want to keep the job you got, or you want to pick this one, you want to pick that one. And the way that, again, maybe you're impacted is maybe it's somebody who lives with you, or your home, your household, you know, would be somehow, indirectly at least, connected to this person's decision about whether or not to accept, again, this offer, this raise, this bonus. Work and finance specifically. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Could be an actual female, maybe even more specifically an actual fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who is problematic. And she may be somebody who in the past has helped you and been very supportive of you. She's going through something and she's causing issues at the job. It's possible. Or this could be you, maybe sort of reaching a place where you're lacking confidence with regard to your work or your ability to, you know, either find employment, or maybe you're underemployed and you want to increase your employment and you're finding it hard to do that, because she's in reverse here. We have another Hermit also in reverse from the Before the Tarot deck. And he's like wishing upon a star. He's like grabbed a star from the sky. And he is trying to manifest something. It may be money. The Hermit does represent this an earth sign, the sign of Virgo most specifically. Four of Cups. So this is a card, again, of an offer. So we see the offer being made here. You may not realize the blessing within the offer or within the circumstance that you're going through. You may not realize the gift that's being handed to you in the midst of what doesn't necessarily look like one. It's, you know, almost as if your back is turned to it or your eyes are closed to it, but the universe is wanting to hand you something. So investigate opportunities that are presented to you. If somebody does bring up a job, you know, even if it doesn't maybe normally look or sound like your cup of tea, or, you know, or a relationship or whatever. I mean, we're focusing on the work and finance, but somebody does present you with some sort of opportunity, maybe look into it before, you know, just dismissing it, because there could be something in one of these containers that you'd really actually be happy to receive. And then we see a victory here with this Five of Swords. I mean, this is after the tarot. And rather than looking conflicted still, this guy has a smile on his face. And he's holding up the one sword like an Ace of Swords. Again, he's victorious. And then he's got, you know, he's got backup too. He's got the other two, and he's just like, they're not together. So it's not like the Three of Swords, like he's suffered a pain. This is, again, the decision, maybe, the Two of Swords has been made, and the victory over it, like the choosing the right thing, the just thing, and him being successful and coming out on top. This may have to do, the conflict, again, with the Queen of Wands, who's in reverse, who may be causing you some sort of trouble, and then you coming out on top ultimately at work. Love and relationship, or romance. So we're starting out with... I started out with the wrong deck. Love and relationship. Should have started from here. I'm sorry. Four of Swords in reverse. Somebody could have taken a break from you. You could be in separation. Or somebody could be, maybe even if you're together, just a little distant, not their normal... maybe emotional, affectionate, whatever, selves, and it just seemed a little distant from you. They could be coming out of that this week. And then maybe that's tied to the Four of Wands and wanting to increase the commitment or better the relationship. So it's like, I'm ready to do that now, having been the Hermit for a while, ready to, you know, up my game here with you, whether you're in separation or you're together. Or for a single person, this could be a single person ready to sort of get themselves back out there on the scene. So the next part would have been this. This is them like sort of looking at the cups, wondering if they care. Wondering if they care. At this point, this is before the tarot, only one has spilled, you know, in this Five of Cups. So they still got the four. The options, the choices, the opportunities that are being presented. And they still have a chance to decide to investigate these Four Cups. So again, you have an opportunity to look in, give people a chance. Don't stop at like the superficial, which can be what swords are about. It can be like, again, cutting through to something deeper. But also one of the meanings of swords is like thinking about stuff and like overthinking as opposed to feeling it. So again, fully investigate. What else? We got another Hermit. He's again in reverse. If this is, I mean, this relationship, again, very likely some sort of divine counterpart. The Hermit is a very spiritual card. So this is probably a spiritually based relationship. One thing about him, when it comes to love and relationship, whether he's upright or in reverse, as he is in this case, it doesn't matter. It's almost always about rekindling a relationship from the past. So somebody from your past returning, whether if you were friends in the past, then maybe they want to, again, up their game, and whatever the next level would be for you, let's start dating or something, or let's talk. Or if it's an ex that's coming back, You know, they're wanting to start something different. But then again, in consideration of the Death card, this is something that has transformed, transition, or they've transformed or transitioned, maybe because of an awakening with all these hermits showing up. And they're going to be different. The relationship's going to be different. So then that old one is dead. Or if you were single and you had pain, that old experience is dead, and you transformed into this new being that is ready to, again, investigate and look into new opportunities and new ways of experiencing things and other people and love. All right, so. And with the Five of Wands in reverse, it's funny because we saw a Five of Wands before that was upright. The Five of Wands in reverse with regard to love and relationship tends to be about having that debate and having it being one of the best things we could have ever done for ourselves and for our relationship. You know, like putting things out on the table, getting it all out. And whether that means we end up together, like the lovers did with what we started, or we part ways, or whatever happens, what comes out in this conversation doesn't have to be violent. Doesn't have to be an argument. Doesn't have to be a drag out. And certainly we should not try to like hit below the belt. You know, it's good to think about your words, choose your words carefully. Not like you're afraid to say certain things, but just like we're not just saying what rolls out of our mouths that we can't take back, that we don't really mean. So we're trying to think with intention, speak with intention, like the King of Swords that we saw before, and only say what we mean and mean what we say. So if you can do that and have like adult conversations, even if it involves disagreement, you're going to find that disagreement or getting those things out is like the best possible thing you could have ever done for your connection, for your relationship, because that will allow you to finally move beyond the past, move past the past, and, you know, start something new, fresh. Ace of Swords, which we saw quite a few times too. Let's also look at some of these secret messages. We're starting out with, I can't open my heart to you because there are wounds from my past that still haven't healed. So that's where we're beginning, but hopefully by the end of the week we can, again, move beyond that by having a conversation or something. Family and work responsibilities are weighing me down and I'm feeling overwhelmed. How can we make this work? That sounds very King of Pentacles in reverse. I don't like to use the ones that are not upright. Oh, goodness. I do wonder if I was supposed to read the ones that were upright but exposed, because I bypassed those as well. I believe that we are destined to be together in this life, which aligned with the two wheels of fortune that we saw in this reading, as well as the two lovers. Our connection is special and has been blessed by the angels. Didn't I say it looked like it was being blessed by that angel with the sword? Like I now dub you, what I say, whatever, in a relationship, or I now pronounce you man and wife. You know, that's what it looked like. He was giving them a special blessing with that sword. Okay, so our primary message this week: you have charmed my life in so many ways. I want to give you a gift because you mean so much to me. A message that may be involving someone from our surrounding energy, a close friend, family member, co-worker, you know, something of that nature. Let's have a heart-to-heart conversation. I want to open up and tell you how I feel. And this was the one that had the Hermit in reverse. Again, he's been thinking about how he feels and what he wants to say, and maybe finally wants to say it. Something that may have to do with work or affect our work, or maybe involvement with somebody that we met through or at work. The distance between us will not keep us apart. So maybe somebody that, again, that's always at work, always putting in, you know, so they seem like they don't have time for you, or it could be actually physical distance, maybe because of work or something like that. But they're saying that they're not going to let that continue to stand in the way of your relationship. And the one specifically tied to love and relationship overall: I want to hold you tight in my arms and whisper, I love you. And that's what I have this week. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it and you find it helpful, like in navigating your week, whether it's, you know, your general life, your friends and family, your work and finance, or your romantic life. You know, I hope that you can apply it and use the information, the guidance, the advice, you know, to help you. Also, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. And for those of you who pray, I have, like I said, a few clients whose energy I'm working on and with that are out of work. So if you can pray for them, and maybe more, well, not maybe, certainly more seriously, and what really moved me to ask you guys to pray this week is that I have a long-term client who is very ill, believed to have developed cancer in multiple organs, and needs our energy of love and support sent to him and his wife. So for those of you who pray, I would appreciate it if you would send some out to that couple. And I thank you. I'll be back soon with the moon reading. Namaste.